So hello and welcome to yet another problem from Leetcode. It says check if array is good. It is easy and at the same time kind of a weird problem. I'll tell you why. But before that, let's see what the problem says. You are given an integer array nums. We consider an array good if the permutation of array is base n. So what is base n? Base n is this array. In other words, it is an array of length n plus 1 which contains 1 to n minus 1 exactly, and so 1 to n minus 1 exactly once plus 2 occurrences of n. And this is weird. Why we have 2 occurrences of n? No explanation, nothing so far, but anyways, this is what it is. So for example, the base is 1 1 and the base of 3 is 1 2 3 3. Return true if given array is good, otherwise return false. Note, a permutation of integer represents an arrangement of these numbers, so it should not be literally taken as 1 2 3, should be 1 2 3 like this. So 1 2 3 can be like 1 2 3 3 can be like 1 3 3 2. So that is also valid. So that is permutation means. So cool, we have certain examples. This is certainly false because we don't have, there are multiple reasons. Size is 3, so maximum element is, 3 should be 4 times. So 3 should be twice, so that is not there, and that is why it is false. And again, the length should be not this. Cool, this is base. This is again base because it matches with base of 1 as we have seen here, and this is not base. Cool, there is an explanation for this, but it is more or less the same thing. So there are multiple ways to solve this. You have this, I'll copy it down this. There are multiple ways to solve this, but do not worry, we will stick to an optimal way without using any extra spaces, any extra calculations. So bear with me till that time. So there is a naive approach that, hey, if you have any number, you take the, n. What is that? What is it called? N. Okay, I'll also call n. So take it n and understand the base, what the base array is, or create yourself a base array. Naive approach, create base array. And now once I've mentioned that you have to create a base array, things are pretty much simple. You just need to check base array is equal to or equivalent to our nums input array. I'll call it A, man. So do not worry, Go, if you don't know Go, I'll not much emphasize upon Go. Just understand the algorithm first. That is more important than any language. So this is a naive approach. There is also one better approach, better way, but still not up to mark. What is that? So you have a base array A, input array A, and from that you just create a frequency map, and within this frequency map you just understand every number. So each number, so frequency map, what we wanted to do, create a frequency map and check each number from 1 to n. This is a shortcut because again, I'm making 1 to n because I know that 1 to n exists, and with the condition that, hey, 1 to n minus 1 exists only once, but n should exist twice. The frequency count should be 2. So with that you can do it, but again, this is a create creating a map takes a loop, checking takes a loop again. Not to mention, frequency maps needs a space. How can we avoid two loops and not use space? Think for a while. If you're unfamiliar with how you can avoid loops and how you can optimize map or any frequency map, I will highly insist you to click the video over here, which will give you an insight how you can optimize such kind of problems. But that thing in mind, let's get back to one of the questions. So we have this example. So this is one of the example, and not to mention we are starting from for this while our array indexes should start from 1. For this while, I know it's not starting from 1, but again for this problem only. So what I mean here is, if I'm having arrays such like this, so so this is an array and this is an index. I know this is starting from 1, so this is index. Then how can I make sure that hey, we are seeing this only once? If you're seeing this one, then can I go ahead and mark it as hey, I have visited 1, so mark it as -1. Shall I? Yes, I can. Now I'm seeing the value 3, so shall I go ahead and mark on index 3? Yes, let's do it. Again, I've seen 3, so I'll again mark it as 3, but don't worry, this is repeating, that's why we are having an error. So I'm seeing value 2, I'll mark on value 2 as -1. Cool, makes sense. Now in this case, I'm sure that I have seen 1 because this is the value of corresponding to index 1 is negative. I've seen 2 because value corresponding to index 2 is negative. So likewise, I have removed the space. So clear till this point. I have removed the space, and let's now reduce the 2 loops just to 1 loop. How are we going to do that? That is very simple. So you will get to know as we code. So just bear with me, and meanwhile just think how we can remove 2 loops, because this is way simple. How we are going to remove 2 loops. Till this point, I think we are good, because now space complexity is optimized. We are just using O of 1 space complexity. So I think we can good to go. And do not worry about the language. I'm just trying new stuffs over here. I'm just using Go. Actually, the algorithm is what matters, and the language, I will be explaining what I'm doing here. Now what they want, they are giving us nums. They have n+1 element. Cool. So the maximum number which I can see is length of a -1. Am I right? Because their length is 4 and the maximum element I can see is 3. I'll take an example, that would be better. So length is 4, maximum is 3, length is 2, the maximum is 1, so it is 1 less than, which is what it is mentioned. So 1 to n-1, what is the maximum? n-1 should be a maximum. So that is what I am doing, n-1. And they are also saying last one repeats, so I'll take a value for last one, and how many times it will repeat. I will take a constant for max repetition is 2. Cool. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just iterating 1 by 1 elements. With that thing in our mind, let's tap. So well, I'm taking a range of a. So what it does, it stores the index over here, which I don't need, so I used underscore, and it takes the value 1 by 1 from a. The value, obviously, now I am altering the array. The value can be negative, so I'm just doing if the value is negative, value is less than 0, so make the value positive. Oops, -1. Again, it doesn't alter the array, so this is just a copy. Now I wanted to get the index. Why I'm getting the index? Basically I wanted to get the index just to mark within the array. So sorry. So I'm getting the index just to mark within the array that I have visited it by marking it as -1. I've got the index directly because I started it from 1, which I should not, but here I should start it from 0. That is why I'm doing -1. So whatever value I'm getting, I'm doing a -1 to it. So if I'm getting a value of 1, I'll do a -1 and get index as 0. Cool. Now, if what I want to do, if index is lesser than 0 or index is greater than or equal to the max, I'm just checking the bounds. Check bounds. What condition I am fulfilling here? So there are multiple conditions. That is what I mentioned. The problem is weird. There are multiple conditions, and one such condition is it should be within 1 to n-1. Exactly once. Yeah, I'll do the exactly once later. And 1 to n-1, that is why I'm checking it over there. Cool. Now, if exactly once, so I'll check now exactly once. Exact once. And this is where my 2 loops I'm avoiding. So I'm avoiding the 2 loops by I'm checking that hey, the value the a of index which I have found, if it is 0, lesser than 0, then I have visited it already, so mark it false. Visited already, mark it false. But there is one condition that it should not be maximum. Index should not equal to max -1. Why max -1? Because again, maximum repeats 2 times. Max repeat is 2 times. Yeah. So cool. Exactly once for rest. Now exactly twice for 2. Exactly twice for max. I'll consider that as well. If index is equal to max -1. Why I'm doing index here? I can just do value, right? So value should be max directly, no -1 things needed. If value is equal to max, then what I will do here is I'll understand the repetition plus plus, and if repetition exceeds max repetition, return false. Max repetition, that is 2. Yes. If it exceeds max repetition, return false. Cool, easy. Now what else? I have seen twice, I have seen once. Anything else remaining? Exactly once plus 2 occurrence of n. This good. Seems good to me. Do I need to check the sum? I don't think so. Return false. Return true. Every time I'm returning false when I will return true. So yeah. So there, I guess there are 3 conditions. One is check bounds, exactly once for for the rest, and twice for max. Let me check, am I missing any condition or not? What have I missed? Output is true, return is false, why it is false? Okay, I have repeating elements. I don't want a repeating element. How can I check for repeating elements? I didn't updated the value. That's my bad. If I've seen this, let me go ahead and update the value. Pair of index multiplied equal to -1. So what I'm doing here is mark visited. I'm checking visited, but I'm never marking it. So that's what I was thinking. Something was missing. So cool. I think sample test case has passed. Let me submit it for rest of the test cases. And yeah, it has accepted for 805 test cases. So this was a very good problem. It's slightly weird because multiple cases, multiple conditions, turnarounds, but yeah, it was fairly good. And if you wanted to see more such of the problem, or just casually look around the algorithm, solutions, data structures, click the video on your right or left as per the algorithm, and I will see you in the next one.